This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Greetings, friends, neighbors. John Solberg here, your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. So happy to tell you today that this episode is being brought to you by The Butcher Shop, purveyors of highly sought after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets, and as always, they are handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for more than 15 years. Every week, they ship out competition quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use The Butcher Shop win, and they win often. You may not be a competitor, but I know you really want those finer cuts. Great news, The Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of the cul-de-sac. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock, and again, it is always handpicked for you. Now, you might be saying, John, that sounds pretty wonderful, but I'd like to try something different. Well, rest easy knowing The Butcher Shop. They can get you an elk steak. They can get you a camel roast. They probably get you some ostrich. Get a hold of them, find out what exotic stuff they can get you, and I'll tell you how to do that here in just a few moments. First, let's review. The best competition briskets, they got that. The best pork selection, they got that. Giving you a better overall option to cook at home, they got that. So give The Butcher Shop a call today, 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. You mentioned the BBQ Central Show. They're going to give you 10% off your entire order each and every time. Go over to Facebook and check them out as well. Facebook.com/The Butcher Shop. Don't forget, shop is spelled S-H-O-P-P-E. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets. And I don't even know how to introduce this show, so I'm just going to go into it.
Big announcement. You heard it here first. First show of 2014 in the new BBQ Central Radio Network studio. Finally, we have come back. Finally, we have come back to the old... Well, now the new confines, well, the old in a very new way, but the new confines of the BBQ Central Radio Network studios. This is the first time that we have broadcast from this basement, although for the last 7 weeks we were broadcasting live and direct from the basement of Amy and Ed Levon's house, of the Wycliffe Levons, which I owe them dear, allowing me to do that show while the house was in transition. But we are now in the basement, as you would know. And really, you wouldn't know if I was doing the show from a basement or high atop the Stolen Police Recovery Network building in the middle of the street, because I got the green screen thing working. But let me see here. Did I screw? Yeah, okay, I screwed that all up. Well, first of all, that's a different camera angle, but I gotta get this shot ready for a little bit later in the show. Perfect. So take it from me. It's new show. We're here. Well, not a new show, but it's a new studio. So, I can't wait for somebody to finally come in. Finally, for somebody to come in and experience the new studio. There's plenty of room here. And boy, am I just overjoyed to be back at my own house. And although I, again, appreciate the fact that I was able to do the show at somebody else's house, in the meantime, being able to end the show and just go right up to bed instead of making a car trip, gravy in my book. So first show in. It's all good. It's 2014. Hope everybody had a great Christmas, New Year's, and so forth, and you're ready for a great year of barbecue shows. Let me tell you who's not ready for a great year of barbecue shows. That would be a barbecue in Jacksonville, Florida. They can kill you. For instance, early Sunday, a man who police were told had been beaten in the head with a baseball bat was found conscious but unable to speak and rolling on the floor at his house at the 11,000th block of North Santa Fe Street on the south side. Another man at the house, when police arrived shortly after midnight, told them Joshua Andrew Hines, 31, who was taken to the hospital but soon died from the injuries, had invited guests over to watch Saturday football playoffs. Playoffs? Obviously not in Cleveland. Late in the night, after most of the other guests had gone, Hines and another man began arguing over the proper cutting of barbecue. The witness said he tried to calm the dispute down, then turned away when he looked back after hearing a noise. The other man, who was identified as Chico, of course, was holding a baseball bat that normally was propped at the front of the door, and Hines was on the floor. Sorry.
Get that big stuff out of here. Uh-oh.
Look, if it's one thing I know that you don't want to talk about, religion, politics, and how to cut barbecue. Never do that.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Perhaps not necessarily in that order. Perhaps you'd never want to talk about how to cut barbecue properly first, and then, religion, politics, whatever. But those who know, and it should be fair warned in advance, don't talk how to cut barbecue with other people unless you are ready to take Louisville Sluggers to the melon and die. And die. I know some of you are, but if some of you are ready to stake your very lives on the proper cutting of barbecue, well, you might want to move down to Jacksonville and stir it up a little bit. Dr. Barbecue coming up out of the break.
Craig, my man, you're a tad cold. I'm just saying. That's why I said I don't know how to announce that. It's like, anyway, listen, I'm going to do a couple shows off this show because this show was a really good show. It's so good, in fact, I'm going to invite you to head over to thebbqcentralshow.com. Get in front of me on this gig. Listen to this complete episode. I'm going to pull 4,642 shows out of this show. And until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I cannot wait to talk to you again soon.